Hello YouTube, Dave here again. Today I'm going to be taking a look at the Dragonbane Game Master screen. So I pre-ordered this from Free League's website and it arrived on August the 10th. I'm recording this on the 11th and the official release date for the Dragonbane role-playing game is on the 15th. Now, I do have a set of the core rules ordered from Free League's website, but I was kind of an idiot and I bundled it in the same order as an Alien RPG book that's coming out in October. So I do want to have access to a physical copy of the rule set a bit sooner than that. So what I actually did was I went on to the website for 401 Games in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. I've ordered some stuff from there before. It's a pretty good game store, pretty good site. And I actually ordered a copy of the rule set from them as well. So I'll have a second one when the order in August or October, I should say, ships out. I'll just probably keep one sealed, or I might, if I know somebody that's interested, I might sell it to them. Regardless, though, we're here to take a look at the Game Master screen. So yeah, let's take a look here. On the front, we do have the barcode. This is obviously just like a cover page that goes on top of the screen itself. But it does say a deluxe Game Master screen in landscape format for the Dragonbane RPG. It features John Egerkarans, and I know I butchered that. I'm so sorry. Beautiful artwork on the outside and a host of useful tables and information on the inside while keeping the Game Master plans hidden from the eyes of inquisitive players. And this artist, I believe somebody had said, and I'm not, don't quote me as this being fact, but I do believe because the art style throughout the entire book does look very similar to what we have here. So I'm pretty sure that this artist here is just doing all the artwork for at least the core rule set. And I love his style. It's just really, really cool looking. Like, I love this image here that we have on the screen. But let's take a look at the actual screen itself. I did start opening the plastic, so it shouldn't take me too long. Like, there won't be like 40 seconds of me struggling to rip open this plastic packaging here. And I love the way that this dragon looks here. It looks just awesome. So we got the plastic. I'll just throw that there. There's just the cover page. And again, I actually keep these. I know a lot of people will just toss these in the garbage, but when I get the box set and I open it up, this will be going in there. So for now, just gonna put that over on my shelf. And let's take a look at what we got here. This looks like a 3-panel screen. And we'll start with the artwork here. So again, you just get like the dragon there looking, come on, focus there. You just get the dragon looking absolutely menacing there. So this is from the core rules cover art. And again, I just love it, like the mouth glowing there as it's getting ready to breathe fire. Like, just such a cool artwork. I absolutely love it there. So that's the outside. And on the inside, we've got some tables. So this is something that I actually really like here. It has the typical NPCs with their attributes and stuff that you might need to know. So for the guard, for example, they have their awareness skill and their skill with swords, their damage, and then the gear that they typically have, any heroic abilities. So this is something that I think will actually be really useful because it's something that will help just with like improv or something. Like if the players go off and do something else, they might run into some thieves or bandits, or maybe like another adventurer, and you could just have like that stuff there. So that's awesome. NPCs and skills. It says non-player characters use skills in the same way as player characters. The GM rolls dice for them, but only for actions that affect the player character directly. When an NPC performs an action that does not directly affect the player character, the GM can simply decide what happens. When rolling for an NPC against an unlisted skill, the GM uses the default skill level of 5. So again, some really cool stuff to help you improv, which I think is great. Initiative for NPCs. To make things simple, particularly in large battles, the GM can draw a single initiative card for a group of NPCs. All NPCs in that group act at the same turn in a round. The order among them is decided by the GM. So this is actually kind of a standard thing that a lot of people do anyway, but I want to say, like, even in like the Alien RPG or some of the other stuff that I've seen, the idea was that initially each combatant would draw their own separate initiative, But yeah, grouping them together, just so much easier. So I'm glad that that's the method they went for. And truthfully, if I was running the Alien RPG and there was a group of similar NPCs, then I would just draw one initiative card for each of them, right? Not for each of them, sorry. I would draw one initiative card for each grouping, just to make things a little bit easier there. 0 hit points for NPCs. When an NPC reaches 0 hit points, no death rolls are made. The GM decides whether the person lives or dies. However, an NPC dies if hit by an instant killing attack, just like a player character. And then attributes. If you at some point need to roll against an exact attribute score for an NPC, use the guidelines before. Strength and agility, use the damage bonus attack, or the damage bonus plus 1d6. Roll against an attribute score of 17. Oh, sorry, if they have 1d6, roll against 17. If they have a d4, roll against a 14. At no bonus, roll against 10. For con, roll against maximum hit points, reduced by 2 for each level of the robust heroic ability. So like for the robust, the veteran or the bandit chief has robust 6 times. So that's something to keep in mind there when it comes to that. That's why they have 30 hit points. If it's for will, roll against maximum will points. If this list is reduced by 2 for each focused heroic ability. If the will point is not listed, roll against 10. And for intelligence charisma, roll against 10. It gives you your actions in combat. So dash, melee attack, range attack, parry, dodge, pick up item, equip, unequip, first aid, break down door, pick lock, use item, activate ability, cast spell, helping, or just resting for a round to rest and recover 1d6 willpower points. That's something I actually forgot to mention when I was talking about like the character creation thing. There are rests that you can do. There's one for a round, one for a stretch, and one for a shift, and you can actually rest in for a round to regain 1d6 willpower points, but that can only be done once per shift. So it's like a once per day thing, but in combat, if you really need some willpower points, you can spend 1 round recovering 1d6 of them. That will hopefully let you use some ability afterwards. So really cool stuff there. And then just the measurement of time, the free action. So drawing a weapon is a free action. To change position, you can throw yourself to the ground or get up as a free action, which I think is kind of cool. You can drop an item or you can shout by basically saying a few words. Rolling a demon in melee. So this is like a critical failure, right? So you roll on the d6 table here. So the effect is on a 1, you drop your weapon at your feet, picking it up as an action. You expose yourself to the enemy who gets a free attack. That cannot be dodged or parried. Your weapon cuts so deep into the object that it gets stuck. Pulling it free requires a strength roll. You accidentally toss your weapon d3 plus 3 meters. To pick it up, you must move and then perform an action. You slam your weapon into something hard and damage it. Any use of the weapon gets a bane until it is repaired by an artisan. And on a 6, you hit yourself by mistake. Roll damage as usual, but without any bonus damage. And then in combat, or range combat, a 1, you drop the item at your feet. 2, you run out of arrows and must get more before you can use the weapon again. So I want to say that you probably don't track ammunition in Dragonbane. Like I know in the Alien, again I keep referencing the Alien game, but that's the Free League game that I know the best. You don't track ammo, but if you panic while firing a weapon, then you discharge your entire reserve of ammunition. So I think arrows are pretty much the same way. On 3, you hit a vulnerable or important item or valuable or important item nearby. The GM decides what it is. You break your weapon, any use of the weapon gets a bane until repaired by an artisan. You accidentally hit a random player character or friendly NPC, and somehow you can manage to hit yourself with a ranged weapon. So that one would be pretty impressive. You got the fear table here. So the different fear effects. You can be enfeebled. You lose 2d6 willpower points. And you become disheartened, which is a condition, which is like one of the conditions, I think, based off of your physical attributes. You are shaken, you gain the scared condition. Panting, the intense fear level leaves you out of breath and makes you exhausted. Pale, your face turns as white as a sheet. You and all player characters within 10 meters become scared. You scream in horror, which causes all player characters to hear the sound immediately suffer a fear attack as well. I love like panic stuff. It's great. Each person who only ever needs to make 1 will roll to resist the same fear attack. Okay. Rage, your fear turns into anger, and you are forced to attack its source on your next turn. In melee combat, if possible, you become angry, you become paralyzed, or you can go into a wild panic. So the wild panic is make another will roll on each subsequent turn to stop running and act normally again, so you just kind of take off. Leaving the adventure site. Enemies at the site follow the player character. Oh, this is actually kind of cool. Enemies at the site follow the player characters and attack at an opportune moment. Enemies at the site get reinforcement. Following enemies are replaced twofold. Someone else arrives at the site and clears it out of treasure before the player characters return. That one's mean. And then on a roll of 46 on a d6, nothing happens. So that's actually kind of neat. I like that one. I do like that one. And then just Pathfinder mishaps. So again, while you're traveling, you could run into a patch of fog, block terrain, or you can tear your clothes. So they now count as rags as opposed to a clothed item. I'm not quite sure what that would entail, but it might affect like certain social situations, if nothing else. You can become lost. You can drop an item. The player character, you choose what they drop. That's kind of neat too. You can run into a mosquito swarm, a sprained ankle, a downpour of rain, which we've been having off and on today. You can run into wasps. All player characters must make an evade roll or suffer 1d6 damage and a condition of their choice. Come into a landslide, savage animal attack, or they could hit quicksand. So there you go. Overall, this is a pretty cool screen. Like, I actually like a lot of the information that's in here. The critical fumbles for weapon attacks, I think, is great. The actions is useful. The information on NPCs is fantastic. I love that. The fear tables, adventuring site, like just some really good, useful charts on here. And I think this is a pretty well done screen overall. I think Free League did a great job with this. And yeah, there you go, the Dragonbane GM's screen. If you're going to be picking up the Dragonbane role-playing game and you plan on running it, this is going to be a great addition to your collection. So you can check it out on the Free League website. I'll try to make sure I leave a link to it in the description below. Otherwise, you can check it out at your local game stores or wherever you get your gaming supplies. I'm super stoked for this game. Like I said, I'm so excited to get this and give it a try that I actually ordered a second set of rules just to try to get it a month or so earlier, or like up to 2 months earlier than the one that I pre-ordered. And just a note to self, in the future, if I'm ordering multiple items, try to keep like similar games together instead of just doing a couple of unrelated things at the same time. And I don't blame Free League. Like, a lot of sites will do that. I know with Paizo, if you have a lot of subscriptions, they will wait until all the items are available to ship out. It just, like, I don't blame them for not wanting to spend double the cost in shipping for a single item, a single order. I totally get it. It's more of a bungle on my part than anything else. But yeah, I really want to get this system in my hands, and I really want to give it a try. So I can't wait for that. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Until then, take care.